PolkaDot is starting to show us signals that can be read across the entire cryptocurrency market right now. What is happening right now is absolutely textbook, and the good thing about that is you can learn the textbook. And I'm going to teach you in the next 7 or 8 minutes if you have the patience to stick around. As well as that, I'm going to be announcing a $100 giveaway for XLM. So hit the like button and let's get into today's video. Now guys, I want to first start with crypto bubbles, which I've been doing for the last few days, and I want to do this so that you start to understand a pattern or understand the patterns of what is happening in crypto bubbles right now. If we look at PolkaDot, we can see 7.2% up today, and we can see Chainlink up 20% nearly, Theta up 7%. And it's really weird, okay, because different types of coins are moving at different times. So yesterday we saw a boom in XRP, XLM, hbar because of the ISO stuff, or ISO 20022. That's very important. But ultimately, whether the news is there or not, they're just following an obvious pattern. And I'll give you this example. If we come across to PolkaDot, and I looked for PolkaDot news on Decrypt, and just everywhere really, to understand why is it up 7% today, and nowhere, anywhere do we see any news. There's no information that's telling me right now that PolkaDot has any right to be up 7.2% until you understand this. Now, you may notice from watching my videos that I'm not the most technical person, and I don't delve really deep into technicalities of these different projects because it doesn't necessarily interest me, and I also know that actually you can get hung up on this and actually miss out on some of the best opportunities. If you understand this chart, okay, which is the path to ALTCOIN season, I've talked about it a lot on this channel, where you see the flow of money in crypto. The flow of money typically will move from Bitcoin, which is the biggest market cap coin, and ultimately will always draw the most people in because it's the most well known. Most people you know will have heard of Bitcoin, but many people you know won't have heard of hbar. That's a good example, okay? If you can hear of Bitcoin, that's where the money flows. From there, you get the money starting to move into Ethereum, but today, I would say that Ethereum and Bitcoin are kind of moving semi-together because Ethereum has now kind of risen to almost the same sort of level as Bitcoin, and then people are going to get really upset about that, whatever, okay? Then you see down below, we get large caps, of which large caps indicate the likes of XLM, which we see booming, XRP, Chainlink, which we see up 20%. hbar fits into that category. Solana, we've seen absolutely booming as well, up 240% this year, something like that. And now we're seeing PolkaDot doing the same. These are all large cap coins. What do I mean by large cap coins? Well, we'll jump across to CoinMarketCap. A large cap coin, one, will fit in one of the top kind of, probably let's say top 50, maybe realistically even you could go as far as saying top sort of 75. You got Gala in there, still I would probably call that a large cap, maybe even down to like 100. But what's important as well is that these coins already have seen a good full-blown bull market, like the last one. And the reason we wanted that to happen is that they are more established in the space, people know more about what they're doing, they're more established on their route to achieving what they're trying to achieve. Now, why I don't always get too technical and why I think it can hold people down is that we need to understand in crypto, there is 2 factors that drive the price of a token. Probably more than 2 factors. But the main factor is how well you can garner support from different people around, how interesting it is to kind of understand and talk about. So for example, we talk about ALTCOIN, everyone can understand what ALTCOIN does because it's very simple, okay? Whereas you start talking about ZK Sync and all these other like more complex projects, it's much more difficult to explain to the average person how they work, and that is therefore less interesting for them. Therefore, they're maybe less likely to invest. Some projects saw great booms in the last bull market because they had great teams, marketing, etc. The likes of Solana, great marketing, okay? Whether you like that project or not, if you get too hung up on the technical, this project's better than that, you will leave lots of money on the table. That's how, you still have like coins with dogs and frogs on that absolutely boomed, okay? They didn't do it because they're technically genius, so you need to think about other things out there. What is big money buying into? Follow that flow of money as well. It's so obvious. We've just seen the large caps moving. PolkaDot is one of them, and is now starting to see a big move as well. Let's look, therefore, at what is going on the PolkaDot chart. And as well as that, after that, I'll look at where we could see the next kind of phase of this growth coming from, in my opinion. Now, PolkaDot is an interesting one, right? Because again, if you look at the level we're at right now, I want you to pay attention to why this is such an interesting level. And it's dangerous for people because lots of people switch off during periods of time like this where they've made a few percent and their portfolio's ticking over nicely, and they kind of like just go and chill out a bit too much, when actually I think we're not there yet, okay? There's a lot more work you could do to really make a big difference. And the reason for that is, look at what happened after the last area of time we were here, literally here on the PolkaDot chart. In 1 week, we saw an 80% increase. By the end of the third week, we were up 262%. Then what, the fourth week, 289%. And then in the week 5, we exploded 668%. And we had a bit of sideways action. Eventually, we topped out something, 8x, nearly 9x up. Crazy gains. But look what happened before that. Nothing. Literally smooth sideways, nothing happened. And I actually bought into this and then sold my coins because nothing was going on with PolkaDot back then. You know? Because now I've learned my lesson. You can be more patient and understand what's going on. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, I've talked about this on Cardano and it's played out. I've talked about this on Chainlink and it's playing out as we speak. Seeing it on PolkaDot also starting to play out. This to me looks like an accumulation phase that we get from a Wyckoff accumulation, which is very key. You can see that we have multiple dips. Although this was not so established, we did have dips. And then this one coming down slightly lower to fish out the liquidity. Wyckoff basically was a banker back in the 1920s. He identified what accumulation patterns look like at the bottom of moves. Now, I'm not saying that from here, we're just going to go straight into another full-blown bull market for PolkaDot, right? I'm not saying that this is going to happen. What I think may happen to many cryptos is we might see a push like this, either to come all the way back down and push, or we might see something like this occur. But still, if that occurs, and it might happen over a longer period of time, because everyone's like, oh, the Bitcoin halving, then, you know, we're still probably going to be pretty happy that we got into PolkaDot at this level. Now, this obviously is not technically going to tell you anything about what PolkaDot does, because it's a technical project. I've made other videos where I've talked about this, and there are other people who explain far better what PolkaDot does than what I do. So if you're new to PolkaDot, it's well worth learning about, especially as they're now moving into stuff with ZK stuff, zero knowledge stuff, which I talked about in a video yesterday, which for me is one of the main hype areas moving into the next bull market, because it's pretty much the holy grail of crypto. So we understand this. PolkaDot looks very juicy for a move out of this accumulation zone. Now, the accumulation zone finishes up from where we are on DOT right now at like 35%. You could even get in and have a 35% and pull some profit off the table and then leave the rest of it in. Who knows? There's a good opportunity right now I'm seeing in PolkaDot. What I think, given where PolkaDot is and where it's going, I think it was a little bit slow in terms of its marketing, was a bit off last time. Okay, I do think that given the growth it's seen and given what this chart looks like, I do think, again, we could be looking to see a push on PolkaDot to at least, I'm looking at $100, which is like a 17x. I think we could go even higher, but I think we're going to see growth in PolkaDot coming fairly soon, okay, given that flow chart. And it's all about that flow chart for me. It's not about trying to find a coin that's going to do 100x right now. I don't think any of these coins that we talk about on this channel right now are going to be doing 100x, but they might be doing 10x, 50x, and you can get that 10x, and then you can take your money out and put it into coins that potentially are going to do 100x, 1000x later on in the bull market. So we need to understand that flow chart, look at the big coins right now, stop getting drawn into the ones that have already pumped 20 or 30%, like XRP, XLM, still great coins, still going to see upside, but start to look at other ones around DOT. PolkaDot's an interesting one right now. Algorand, guys, sitting really low down on the charts. Yeah, there's lots of like bad news about Algorand and stuff. I still think it's a great investment for a small portion of cash. Where the money flows from here next, I would say there were some big launches earlier on this year that are worth paying attention to. We've got one that I'm for sure interested in, which is called Hello Token. You can see it launched earlier on this year. Pretty kind of weird and wacky chart, but you've got very good opportunities. Like last time we sat around here, did 168% in just a couple of weeks. I think Hello Token could do that again. You've got Tenet Protocol, you know, which since launch hasn't done a huge amount, but neither has the crypto market in general. It's looking pretty steady for another pump. We get back towards that high, which we put in a few weeks ago, 155%. That's a cool thing about these sort of smaller cap coins. Another one to pay attention to, which is sort of moving already, is Casper, which is behaving more like a large cap coin than a new coin. Interesting to see. Still quite a small market cap, but in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, up 140% since we made a video on it when it was down in this green box. So guys, you absolutely should be subscribed. not just so you can win free prize giveaways. And as I promised, free prize giveaway goes to, which I took from this video I made yesterday morning. Let's go down through and find someone who wrote XLM on the comments. Obviously, guys, right now I want to also use this opportunity to warn you about all the scammers and stuff in here, but be very cautious. Let's scroll down through and pick someone at random. Who have we got here? XLM Priceless Knowledge, brother, by far educating people on crypto. Cool. Tommy Caldwell 2941. Please hit me up on Twitter. You can find my Twitter page in the description of any video. Tommy Caldwell 2941. Congratulations, you have won $100 worth of XLM. Hit me up on Twitter and I will get that across to you as soon as possible. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button as well. Subscribe for future giveaways and I will see you in the very next video. Bye bye.